So, hello everyone, I would like to welcome you all on my YouTube channel that is Learning and Programming with Chetan. And guys, I think we are good to start, but still, let me first welcome you all and let us wait for another 30 seconds and then we will start with our today's session. Till then, you can watch this video, have fun. Hello everyone, are you new on this channel? And do you want to learn Spring Boot? Then believe me, you are at the right place. Why I'm saying this? Because if you have interest in learning and developing your Spring Boot application, if you want to learn that how you can develop your RESTful APIs and how you can consume it, then you can quickly subscribe the channel. Again, why I'm saying this? Because if you want to learn that how you can develop your model layer, your repository layer, your DAO layer, your service layer, your controller layer, then you can easily learn all these concepts by watching tutorials on this channel. And do you want to know that how you can log the application errors in your Spring Boot application? Do you want to know that how you can perform the unit testing by using JUnits? Then again, I would like to suggest you to visit the channel and watch the videos so that you will get an enormous opportunities to learn various concepts related to Spring Boot. And if you want to know that how you can do the configurations in your application by using application properties file or by using YAML file. So guys, I think we're gonna start now. Before that, as you can see on your live chatting screen that I have started this poll for you guys so that I will come up with an idea like okay, people are liking these type of live sessions. If yes, then you guys can provide me the topics which you want me to cover in our upcoming live sessions. So let us start with our today's discussion. Before that, let me first tell you that yesterday we had our first live streaming session, and in this particular session we have covered the initials of how we can create custom collection framework. I will give you a brief overview, but I would like to recommend you to go through this and have a look on it so that you will be having a better understanding. Let me know if I am clearly audible to you guys, and or do you want me to be a bit louder here, or let me know if you are able to see my screen properly. You can write me in comment section and you can let me know your suggestions. Okay, so let me take you to our today's discussion window. So as you can see on your screen that yesterday what we have covered and how much we will be able to cover today. I am planning to complete this complete topic for you guys so that we can come up with an idea like okay, how we can create our custom collection framework and what are the various operations we have in this custom in any collection framework you can say. So once you will go through this complete video and you will see that how the collection is actually internally working. So till yesterday we discussed about that how objects are stored in collection framework, whether it is an homogeneous objects or heterogeneous objects. We have tried to understand that by the help of examples. So you might, if you have joined yesterday's session, then you must be aware of that we have used an object array and we have used an object type here so that it can be able to store any type of object, whether it is homogeneous or heterogeneous. Then we have seen the initial how we can define the initial capacity for a collection object, and then we have discussed about its important methods, that is how we can find the number of elements which are already there in a collection framework in our custom collection. We have declared one count element variable which is keeping a track like, okay, these many number of objects are already there in my collection. And then if you want to know the capacity of your collection framework, then you can use this capacity method which we have declared. So by using this, we are returning a length of an object array. So you will come up with an idea like, okay, at any point of time you will be able to know that, like, okay, these many objects, or this is the size of my array. Let's we show you here. So let us first create an object array. So as we have created an object with an initial capacity of 10, so let us not waste much of our time in drawing, and let us quickly create it. So this point is fine, and so we have an initial object with initial capacity starting with an index 0 till index 9. So our initial capacity is 10. And suppose this we already discussed yesterday, that we can insert an object inside our object array or inside our collection custom collection framework by using an add method. This also we have covered yesterday, that how we can add an object or an element inside our custom collection. So we can simply insert it, but then I have explained you that what is actually happening when your collection is capacity is reaching or it is getting occupied. In that case, we discussed that how we can make our collection resizable or growable, so that we can avoid the limitation which we have in array, right? Yeah. So this we have discussed yesterday, that how we can insert an object in our collection object and how we can increase the capacity of our existing collection array. So this is the method which we have created. So I have explained to you yesterday that, suppose take an example, I'm inserting an object inside my collection. So I'm inserting objects like 0 or maybe a, b, then 1. Then we have completed, we have inserted around 10 elements inside our object array, and now it is completely occupied. So I have inserted till this point. Now my dear friends, can you tell me what will happen if I try to insert one more object inside my collection? अगर अपन एक और ऑब्जेक्ट को इंसर्ट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, तो आप बताएंगे मुझे क्या होगा उस टाइम पे? आप मुझे कमेंट सेक्शन में बता सकते हैं। ये अपन ने कल भी डिस्कस कर लिया था कि क्या होगा। एनी गैसेस? So let me write you for your reference. In this particular case, क्या होने वाला है? We will get an exception, that is array index out of bound. Right? We will get an array index out of bound exception, because now we are trying to insert an object in our collection object at index 10, which means if we see the current capacity, then it is from 0 to 9, and we are trying to insert at this particular index, but there is no space in our object array, right? So in this case, it will throw an array index out of bound exception. So how we can avoid that? We can avoid that by using this get increased capacity array. So what we are doing here, we are creating another array with increased capacity. So the capacity of our new object array will be from 0 to, so let's not waste much time in drawing it. What my main idea is to help you to understand the concept. So our initial array or our initial collection object was from 0 to 9 index, or its initial capacity was 10. Then we have written in this particular statement that we are increasing its capacity by multiplying it by 2. And then we are creating the new array. So here you can see that we have created a new array with, and we have increased its capacity. So now its capacity is 20. So this is my 10th index, and it will go till index 19. Hope it's clear to you all, guys. Still, at any point of time, if you feel that you are not able to get, or if you're having any doubts, then you can ask me. I will stop and I will try to explain you. So now what we are doing, we are trying to insert an object at this particular index, that is index 10. So before that, here you can see that we have developed till this point. Then what we are doing, we have, whenever we are creating a new object array, then what we are doing, we have first created a new object, and then we need to copy the existing elements of our initial object to the new array object. This is what we are doing in this particular for loop, starting from 0 to the capacity, and then one by one we are trying to assign the object array into our new object. So hope it is clear to you. So all the objects will be copied from this, will be copied in a new object array, and then we will be able to insert our new element in our new object array. And then in next statement, my dear friends, are, if we take an example that my object was initially pointing to this particular array, then now in this particular statement we are assigning the new increased capacity array to our object. So now we are removing the reference from the initial object to the new object. So hope it is clear to you. So in heap memory, it will be now it will be referring to the new object array. So I hope till this point it is clear to you. And still, if you're having any doubts, then you can easily ask me your doubts. So till now we have received 5 votes here, and I hope that you all guys are enjoying. I want you guys to share, to ask me your doubts. Let's make this session interactive, guys. So keeping the assumption that you are able to understand till this point, which we have discussed till our yesterday's session, I am starting with our today's topics. So today in this particular video, we will try to understand the internal working, that how the remove operation is working in any collection framework. What is internally present, how it is internally working, right? We might be using lot of collections, right? Whether it is an array list, your linked list, your vector stack, queue, your set, map, you must be directly calling the add element method, or you must be calling your insert methods, right? Or your remove method, you must be calling the get method to get the particular element from your collection. Or you must, or when you need to search, you might be directly calling. But have you ever thought of how they are internally working? What is the actual algorithm being used in background? Yes, guys, please let me know. Have you ever tried of? No worry, by the end of this video you will be having a clear idea about the algorithm, about the working, how these collection are internally working. And then you will be able to relate whether it is an any collection framework class or any map framework class. You will be able to identify like this is how it is actually working in background. So I hope that this add method is clear to you. Now let's not waste much of our time and let us discuss about our next operation, that is an remove operation. Yeah. So this is the remove method. So before telling you about the code, let me explain you the algorithm, and then you will be able to clearly understand by the help of these diagrams that how these are internally working. Okay, my dear friends, so let's take an example. This is an object which is present in a heap memory for our collection object, and let me quickly draw for you. Yeah. So it is starting with index 0 till index 9. I'm considering that we are having only 5 to 6 elements or maximum 10 elements are there inside our custom collection. So this is my first element, and we have multiple elements inside our collection object. So this is, hope this is clear till this point, and my object array, my object reference variable is pointing to this particular object in my heap memory. Now we are trying to understand about the remove operation. So let's take an example. I want to remove this particular element with value as 2 and its index as, so let me call the remove method. It's a bit difficult to draw it like this, but okay, it's fine. So suppose its index is 2 with value as 12. So I want to remove an element at index value 2. Now, my dear friends, before removing, what we should check that this index should be within this range, right? Suppose you are trying to remove an element at index value 12, but your length of your collection object is 10. Then in that case, you will get array index out of bound exception, right? Yeah. And it should not be less than the initial index value. So this is what we have written in our initial lines of our remove method. So this is my remove method. It is not returning anything, and it is accepting an integer value. So this is the index of the element which we want to remove from our collection object. Hope it is clear to you. So first we are checking that it should not be less than 0 and it should not be greater than the size minus 1. So yesterday we have already discussed about the size method and the capacity method. So size method is what? It is the number of elements which is present inside our collection object. So initially I am considering that there are total 10 elements inside my collection. So we should check that this index should be between 0 to 9. It should not be less than 0 and it should not be greater than 9. Guys, we can write this code also, but as we are creating a framework level class, then we should take care of handling all the exceptions also, right? So that is what we are trying to do here. So we have added this check. So if we'll provide any such value, I will show you, I will demonstrate soon. I will demonstrate you all these scenarios. I have already prepared a test cases, and we will try to understand and see how it is actually working in background. But yes, if you'll provide any value which is outside your range, then it will give you an index out of bound exception. So yeah, we have done till this point. Now what's next? We have already checked it. Any guesses, guys? You can provide me what you are thinking at this point in comment section. I'm eagerly waiting for your responses, guys. Yeah, okay. So any guesses, guys? What we should do in this case? Or the code is already present on your screen and are you able to understand it that what I have written here, how it is actually working? Do you have any guesses on that? If yes, then you can let me know. If no, then also it is fine. Okay, so not waste much of our time and let us discuss that how it will actually work. So we have to delete this particular element, right? So what we can do in this case? What we can do, we can start from this particular index value and we can try to copy the next element at this particular location, the next element at this particular location till the length, till the size of our collection object. So we have to perform shift operations here. That is why we generally say that why see it is actually the limitation of array list, right? That it can be used for retrieval operation, but if we are trying to insert or delete any elements from the middle value, then it is quite difficult, right? Why? This is the reason which you can see on your screen because there are multiple shift operations actually happening. So this is what we are trying to do here. So we are actually shifting the next element to the previous element index value. So yes, we will start from that particular index and we will keep on updating the value of the next element to that particular element. So one by one we will shift all the elements and now in this suppose here we have the value as 9. So now in our new object array we will be having a value as a, then b, and then 12 will be removed and next value will be 9, right? And it will keep on go like this and then we will be having a value as 8 here and then there won't be any value at the last index which we will deallocate. So let me take you to the code and let us try to understand that what it is we have actually done. So here you can see that this is my array index value, initial value. So यहाँ पे अपन ने क्या करा है, यहाँ पे अपन ने जो भी अपने को एलिमेंट रिमूव करना है उसके इंडेक्स को अपन ने असाइन कर दिया है यहाँ पे। फिर अपन ने फॉर लूप लगाया है। अब वन बाय वन अपन क्या करेंगे, आइट्रेट करेंगे अपने लूप को। होप you are comfortable in Hindi and also in English. So if you have any language issue, then you can let me know. I'm comfortable in any language and we can discuss in whichever language you want. So let me know in which language you want me to continue. Yeah, so what we are doing here, we have created a for loop and then we are starting from that particular index till the size minus 1 and then one by one what we are doing at this particular location I am assigning the next object array value, right? Here what I have written, array index plus 1. So as I have already explained you, one by one it will assign the value of the next element to the previous element. So this is what we have done here and then at this particular index, so finally it will go to this index. Our array index value will be this one, so we have assigned its value as null. If we will not do it, then it will be its value will be this only here. So what we are actually doing, we are assigning its value as null so that we are actually removing it. So yes, and then this is our count element to check that how many number of elements are there inside our collection object. So yes, we are reducing its value. So now in place of 10 elements, अपने collection में कितने elements रह गए हैं? 9 elements. So now we have 9 elements inside our collection object. So my dear friends, I believe that this remove operation is clear to you. Still, if you are having any doubts, then you are most welcome, and let me wait for another 30 seconds, and I want you guys to let me know your questions, your doubts, if you have on this particular remove operation. So guys, in another 10 seconds, we will start with the next operation, that how we can retrieve an elements from our collection. How any collection framework classes are working, how they are retrieving elements from their internal objects, which is there in the heap memory. So we'll wait for another 10 seconds, and then we will start with this particular concept. So guys, I hope that whatever we have discussed till now is clear to you, and you have a clear understanding of the add operation, that how we can add an elements inside our collection object and how we can remove an elements. Now we are trying to understand that how we can get or retrieve elements from our collection. So which means that suppose I have this particular object array. This is actually the internal data structure which we have used for our custom collection, right? So if I want to retrieve an element from any particular location, suppose I want to get an element from my collection at an index of 1. And let me tell you one thing, as we are using an array here, so this is having a very good, its advantage is that we can retrieve any element from our custom collection if we have used an array with the same speed. Why? Any idea? Because it is working on the basis of index. It is working on index value. That is why you can get an elements from your custom collection, from this particular custom collection, or from your array list. How? By using an index at the same speed, whether it is an index 0 or it is an index 1 lakh or 1000. So yes, now let us see that how we can get the value which is present at this particular location, how we can do that. So let us try to understand. So let me take you to the code. It's very simple, guys. Very, very, very simple. How we can do that? As our internal data structure is object array, right? So we can directly retrieve an element from our object array from our array by passing the index. See, it's very simple. But before that, we need to add the check that we should not try to get any index value from our object. Let me take to the diagram first. Yeah, so we should not try to get any element which is outside the range. Suppose you have your object is having your collection object is having only 5 elements and you are trying to get an element which is at index 6. Then what it should do? It should give you an array index out of bound exception, right? So in our previous method also we have used this technique to avoid this particular exception. Similarly, here also we are using this algorithm step to avoid this array index out of bound exception. So it should not be less than 0 and it should not be greater than the size of our array. Hope it is clear to you guys. It is very simple, right? That how we can get an element from our collection. My dear friends, let me know if you are having any doubt with how we can retrieve an element from our collection. We will also learn, we will also see that how it is actually working by running our test cases. There I will, in another 10 to 15 minutes, I will explain you all of these methods practically by running our program. So let me know if you have any doubt with get operation. Till now I can see 5 votes from you guys and you guys want to have such type of live session, so it's really great to know, and on a frequent basis we will continue with these type of sessions. So guys, I hope that you are visiting the channel and you must be enjoying and seeing the various videos which I am creating for you all guys. It is not specific to any particular technology. Here you can find videos on your backend layer, your UI layer, your front end layer, your database. Soon you will get a lot of videos at on infrastructure level as well. So till then you can take the best advantage of these 140 plus videos on the channel, and let's continue to learn and keep ourselves motivated to learn new things each and every day. So I hope that whatever we have discussed till now is clear to you, and now we should not waste much of our time and let us discuss about our next operation. It is also very simple, and then we will be left with 2 more operations. So my dear friends, here you can see that this is the replace operation. So what we are actually trying to do here, let me show you first. Okay, let me clear it once so that you will be able to understand it in a better way, right? Yes guys, so now we are actually working on what? Replace operation. So what do you mean by replace operation, guys? Any idea? We have already discussed about add operation, that by using add we can add an elements inside our collection, right? What is this replace operation? Every collect You have inserted something in your collection object, right? Then you should provide some ready-made method so that you can replace the value which you have already created. Sometime it may be possible that there is a need. Suppose in your custom collection object you have added an address of particular employee, and now you want to update that address. So there should be some replace operation which you should provide in your collection object. So this is what we are trying to do. So what we are doing, we are trying to replace, we are trying to provide the replace operation. So what I want to replace, this is my second index, so I want to replace the element at second index with some value as x, y, z. And it is of string type. Our collection is able to handle homogeneous and heterogeneous objects, so you can add any type of objects in our custom collection, so there is no issue with that. Earlier value was integer and now we are inserting a string value, so it's absolutely fine. So yes, we are trying to replace value at this particular index. My dear friend, this is also very simple operation. You can see here how simple the implementation is. Initial one, I have already told you that before performing any operation, we are taking care of exceptions. We are first checking that it should be in a given range. Otherwise, what it will give you? It will give you array index out of bound exception. So we have already handled it. And then here you can see that we are simply replacing, we are simply replacing an element at this particular index inside our object array with our new value, that is replace object. So you can see that how simply we can implement the replace operation, how quickly we can replace any object inside our collection. So those who have recently joined, I would like to welcome you all guys, and you are a bit late but there is no issue. We are discussing on custom collection implementation, how we can create our own custom collections. So we have discussed till now about some of the important methods like add method, remove method, get method, then replace method. But no problem in that. Once you will see our remaining methods, then you will be able to understand about the previous methods as well. And this video will be available on the channel, so you will be able to watch this video n number of times whenever you want. So this is the yesterday's live streaming session video which we have created, and you can have a look on it and you will see about the various initial implementations of our custom collection object. So yes guys, so I hope that this replace method is clear to you. So let me ask you any doubts on this replace method. Thank you so much, Arnav. Thanks a lot for your compliments. Though this topic sometimes it seems to be difficult, but when we go inside it, when we will deep dive the concepts, then we will see that how easy it is. Because until and unless we will not implement it, we will not come to an idea that how it is actually working. So believe me, once you will have a clear understanding of these concepts, then you can relate these concepts with any collection framework. Whether you can take the hardest one, that is hash map or your hash table or your sorted set, sorted map, your tree map, your tree set, you will be able to easily try to resolve it कि वो किस तरह से internally work कर रहे हैं. Hope it is clear to you all guys. So let's not waste much of our time and let us discuss about our next concept. So yes guys, now as you have already seen that how we can insert an element inside our collection, you have also come to know that how we can remove elements, how we can delete elements, or how we can get an element. Even we have seen how we can replace it. But there is always a need to search an element, right? My collection should be that much powerful that it can provide you a search facility. So, do you have any idea that how we can do that? And before that, can you tell me if we talk about a collection framework, whether it is your array list or your linked list or your set or your map, which one is faster in when it comes to searching operation? Any guesses, guys? What would you prefer if you have a requirement that your frequent operation is search? Any guesses, guys? Okay, let me give you a hint. Whether you will use array list or your linked list or hash set. Sure, Shubham. What I want you guys to come up with your queries so that I can able to answer you guys. I'm trying my level best to come up with some of the core concepts related to these, because nowadays I am seeing that we have a lot of frameworks and we are directly using those methods, right? We are directly using the add method, set method, remove and get method, but we have never thought of how they are actually internally working, right? But if we have that idea, then we can judge that which particular collection we can use, which particular method we can use to perform any particular operation. Yes, guys. Any guesses? So, my dear friends, its answer is very simple. We can, if our frequent operation is search, then we can use hash based collection frameworks. That is, we can use hash set or we can use hash map if our object is of type key value pair. Why? Any guesses? Let me give you an clue. So, as I have told you, hash based, which means that it is internally using a concept of hashing. I want you guys to watch some of my videos on hash map and hash set or hash table, then you will come up with a clear idea that how you can watch this video on hash map versus hash table. Then you will be able to understand about this hashing concept as well. Okay, guys, I can briefly tell you that it is on the basis of hash code it which is internally getting used in hashing concept which we are using in these hash based collection frameworks. But yes, I want you guys to come to ask me in comments and then I will come up with your the better solution for you guys. Okay, so let's not waste much of our time and now let us move on to our next concept, that is our search operation. So can you guys tell me that how we can perform the search operation, how we can search a particular element from our collection? Yes, guys. So here we are trying to perform a search operation. So I have already created a search method. It is again very simple, guys. So this is my search method, and in my search method, actually my if I talk about my current object array or my current collection object, then here I want to find an element with value as 8. So I am passing an object value, that is I am passing that particular object, and then we are trying to search that whether this particular object is there inside my collection or not. So my dear friends, we can easily do it because in our internal data structure which we have used is array. So we can simply iterate our collection starting with index 0 till the final index until unless we are not finding our element. So we can iterate it. We can compare the value. Let me first take it just a minute guys. Yeah. So what we are doing, we are trying to search an element with index value as 8. So what I can do, I can iterate through my object array and I can check whether the element present at array index 0 is equals to this element value. It is not, then it is fine. Let's check the next element. Keeping this concept in mind, we will iterate and we will check all the elements until unless we are not finding it till the length of our, not length, we can say till the size of our collection. So that's what you can see. This is the method which we have created. This is a public method I have defined and its name is search, and we are passing an object of object type, which means that any it can accept any object, and this is the object I want to find from my collection. And what it will do, it is simply returning a boolean value whether my object is there or not. So here you can see that what I have done, I have used an simple for loop guys. So now I can use a stream also to increase the performance of my collection, but I want you guys to clear the concept to have a better understanding. That's why I'm using this basic for loop for you guys. But yeah, this is fine for now. So this is the for loop. I'm starting with index 0 till the size means till the number of elements inside my object, inside my collection object array. So one by one I'm checking if the element which is present at this particular index is equals to my search object. If it is equal, then I will simply return true. Otherwise, I am returning false. So as soon as I will be able to find that particular value, I am directly returning from here. Any guesses, guys? Can you tell me that is this search operation will take more time or less time when we are trying to search an element at, maybe we can, here we only have 10 elements, right? Suppose I have 10 million elements and I want to search an element at 9 million index. Then can you tell me whether it is a fast operation or it is a slow operation, how it will work? Any guesses? I'm not only trying to tell you or how to implement it, but I want you guys to also understand that how you can relate it with other concepts as well. So guys, here we have used an object array. So what it is doing, it is one by one checking an element and it is trying to get the elements, right? That is why this is a very costly operation, right? because it will start from index 0, it will go till 9 millionth index, and then it will get the element. In place of this, if we will use an hashing concept, then we can make this operation much faster. That is why we have hash set or hash map based collections frameworks to handle these type of scenarios. But yeah, if our frequent operation is retrieval, then we can go with array list or linked list, right? And even we have not added any duplicate restrictions, so our custom collection is also able to handle what duplicate elements, right? And also, as we are using an our internal data structure is array, right? Not simple array, it is a resizable or growable array. So here what we are doing, can you tell me that if I want to retrieve an element in the same way I'm inserting it, then can I do that? Then my dear friends, yes, you can do that. So जिस ऑर्डर में अपन एलिमेंट्स को इंसर्ट कर रहे हैं, इन द सेम ऑर्डर वी कैन गेट द एलिमेंट्स फ्रॉम आर ऑब्जेक्ट array or from our custom collection. So this is again an advantage of using an array here, because अगर आपने हैश बेस्ड यूज किया होता तो वहां पर सीक्वेंस मेंटेन नहीं होता है. There we are inserting an elements or we are getting an element based on the hash code of your objects. But yes, here we are trying to understand the concepts, and if I talk about our custom collection which we are creating, it will be able to serve almost all the functionalities. But yeah, there can be some performance issues with some of the operations. But yeah, that is why there comes multiple collections, right? Otherwise they would have created only array list. Why they have created linked list? Why they have created hash set? The reason is this only. They have created one collection framework and then they come to know that okay, this is where it is not performing well, so let us go ahead and let us create linked list. As you have seen that in remove operation we are performing multiple shifting operations, right? And now in our next operation, when we will discuss about the insertion operation, here we will try to insert an element at particular index. तो यहाँ पे हम क्या करेंगे, एलिमेंट को मिडल में इंसर्ट करने की कोशिश करेंगे. तो वहां पे क्या होगा, मल्टीपल शिफ्ट ऑपरेशंस परफॉर्म होंगे, थोड़ा परफॉर्मेंस पे इंपैक्ट आएगा. इसीलिए लिंक लिस्ट का कंसेप्ट आया था. लिंक लिस्ट में क्या होती है, नोड्स होती है. फर्स्ट नोड नेक्स्ट नोड को पॉइंट करती है. इफ यू हैव learned about data structures, then you might have learned about list, right? Singly linked list, doubly linked list, right? All those concepts are getting used here. So here in this example, we are using array. I will again create one more similar tutorial, and there I will use list. I will try to use singly or doubly linked list, and then we will see, and then we will also try to judge or would try to differentiate the on the basis of performance. So I hope that this operation is also clear to you, right guys? Still, if you are having any doubts, then you can let me know. Any doubts with search operation? So guys, you can let me know if you are having any doubts with any particular operation which we have discussed till now, then we can quickly reiterate and we will discuss it. Otherwise, we will move on to our next and the last operation, that is an insert operation. We'll wait for 30 seconds and then we will start with our next operation, that is an insert operation. Meanwhile, you can let me know, you can ask me your doubts if you have any doubts, not specific to this topic what we have discussed, but also you can ask me any doubts. related to any topics which we have discussed, or related to any videos which you have watched on this channel. So I am open to that. So let's make this session interactive. Let's come up with your questions, your doubts, or you can also provide me suggestions if you think that we can perform these operations in a much better way or with some different approach. Then also you can let me know so that we can try to implement that as well, right? So let's wait for 30 seconds and then we will start with our next discussion. So let's wait for 30 seconds and then we will start with our next discussion. So let's wait for 30 seconds and then so yes guys, I'm back again and now let us discuss about one of the toughest operation. That is why I have kept it in last. That is an insert operation. So here you need to understand it with your more attention. थोड़ा मोर फोकस करना पड़ेगा आपको समझने के लिए, लेकिन एक बार आपको समझ में आ गया कि इंसर्ट ऑपरेशन कैसे वर्क कर रहा है, कैसे हम शिफ्ट कर रहे हैं एलिमेंट्स को, देन बिलीव मी you will be having much more better understanding in collections. And I would like to explain you this concept by the help of diagram. So guys, our next operation is inserting an element at any particular index. So any guesses how we can do that? So this is our insert operation. I have created one method with the name insert and we are trying to insert an element at particular index, and this is the new object I want to insert. So what we are actually trying to do here? What I want that I want to insert an element inside my collection object, and I want to insert an object at index value. I want to insert an object at, this is my first index, this is my second index. I want to insert an object at index value 1. And what I want to insert? I want to insert x value. So what I actually want, I want it to be like this. This is my 0th index, this is my first index, then second index, and then we have third index and so on. Yeah. So at first index, I want to insert a value x. So then this value will be moved to the next point at next index, and this value will move to the next index. So this is how our algorithm will work. So do you have any guesses how we can do this? How we can perform the shift operations here? Yes, guys. Believe me, this is one of the very important concept, and once you will understand it, you will have better understanding on algorithms, how the shift operations are happening, how we can write algorithms, and how they are actually working. So yes, guys. Any guesses? Here I have presented a code for you so you can have a look on it and you can try to understand and you can let me know how they're actually internally working. Yes, guys. In this particular function, I will also explain you that how we have made our collection object as an resizable or growable. What is actually happening if my capacity is getting filled, then how I can create an object with a new capacity, with an increased capacity, so that it can handle any number of elements, and that's why, or that's how we can remove the restriction which we have in simple array object. So yes, guys, any guesses? Hope after watching this code, it might be you must be having some clarity in your mind, but yes, not let's not waste much of our time and let us discuss that how we can perform it. So guys, what we will do here, we have to insert an element at this particular index, right? And then what we want, the element which is already there at that particular index, I want to move that to the next index value. So here we will again perform the shift operations. So what I will do, I will start. So what is the size of my collection? Currently its size is 10, right? And its index value is 9. So what I will do, I will start with my index value 9, or the maximum size or the number of elements which is already present in my collection. I will start from that index value and I will try to shift that by one index. So this, so here I am trying to shift this particular value, but here you can see that we only have an object of size 10, right? So here comes the concept of resizable and growable array. We will call our method and we will create a new object array with increased capacity, and then we will copy all the elements and then we will shift it. We already discussed all these points, right? So you will be able to relate what we have discussed till now. So I will create another object with increased capacity. So now our new capacity is 20, right? And I have shifted the element at index value 9 here. So what we are doing, we are shifting our objects one by one so that it can leave the value or leave the space for our new object. And then we will insert an object at that particular location. I hope it is clear to you. Still, if you have doubt, we will see it through code. So here first what we are doing, we are checking that our index should be within the limit, otherwise we will throw an array index out of bound exception. And then before inserting any element, we are first checking that our object, our collection object is already filled or not. If our collection is already filled, then we are calling our increased capacity array method to create a new array object with increased capacity, that is a multiple of 2 is what we have kept here. We can also make it customize. We can pass the multiple, and whatever capacity you want to keep, you can also customize it and you can pass it, and then you can directly use it here, right? So it's on us what type of algorithm we want to keep. So I have kept it simple by multiplication of 2, then I have created a new object array, then I have copied it, and then I have assigned it. Hope it is clear to you. So now we have a new object array. This is our new object array, right? And then what we are doing, we are starting with size. We are starting with index of size. That is, what is the max index where elements are already there, so that we can shift it one by one. So that's what I have written here, and this is the loop which we are using. So I will go till this point. What I will do, I will shift my elements starting with my length of my collection object till this particular location, till this point. So one by one I will shift the elements. How I am shifting it? Object array of index, that is object array at ninth location is equals to object array at -1, that is 8th location. Then again it will go, it will copy object array at 7 is equal 8 is equals to object array at 7, and so on. So one by one it will shift and it will copy the objects, and then our array index final value will be this one, that is 1. And here what we are doing, we are copying the new object. So this is what we have done here, and then we have increased the count element, which means that we are increasing the size or the number of elements which is present inside our collection. So it was a bit complicated, but I think it is clear to you now. Still guys, if you are having any doubt with this insert operation, then you can let me know and we can discuss. I can again explain you guys, but I want you guys to comment and let me know. Any doubt with insert operation? Yes guys. So guys, not let's not waste much of our time. I don't want to waste your time as well, and so let us continue keeping this assumption in mind that whatever we have discussed till now is clear to you. Now I would like to demonstrate you. I have already created a custom collection test class to explain you that how are all the operations are actually working, and whether whatever collection object which we have created is actually working fine or not. Let us test. So here you can see that I have created a class with main method, and so when I will run this class, here in the first statement what we are doing, we are creating a new object of our custom array collection. So what it will do, it will call the constructor, right? And here what we are doing, we are creating an object array with initial capacity as 10, and there is no elements as of now, that's why I have assigned its value as 0. So hope till this point it is clear, right? Let me run this program as well, and then we will see the output along with the program. So I have already run it. Let me, it is launching it once. Just wait for, yes. So our output is already here. Let me bring it here. Yeah, yes, guys. I want you guys to be bit to have my little bit of focus of yours here, so that you will be having clear understanding that what all we have discussed and what all we have covered till now. So here you can see that this is our size method, which is the actual number of elements present inside a collection object. So initially its value is 0 because we have just created our collection object, right? And then in the next statement we are printing the capacity, that is the size of our collection, custom collection. So its size is 10, right? I hope till this point it is clear. Now what we are doing, we have created an add method, right? This is our add method, right? One by one we have tried to insert an elements, if it will reach the capacity, then we will increase the size of our collection, right? So what we are doing here, one by one we are creating an element inside our collection, right? So here I have created, and till this point I have created 10 elements, and then I am trying to insert one more element inside my custom array collection. As soon as I will try to insert this particular element, then it, it will create a new array element with increased capacity, right? So here you can see that now there are 11 elements inside our collection, right? And the new capacity is 20, which is the twice of our previous capacity. Till this point it is working absolutely fine. Now let us try to perform the remove operation. I want to remove an element at index value 8. Okay, we can do that. So after removing it, what we are doing, we are printing it. So now the length is 10, right? And then we are performing the get operation. We are trying to get an element at index value 4. So let me take you to my object array. So here you can see that these are the elements which is present inside my collection, and so at fourth index the value is e. That's what it has printed here, which means that our get operation is working absolutely fine. Let me show you the remove operation as well. So we have removed the element at index value 8. So at 8th index, this is a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this value should not be there inside our. So at value 8, we don't have 2, we have 3, right? So our remove operation is also working absolutely fine, which we have created here, right? We have performed various shift operations in our remove operation, and then we have reduced the size of our collection. So till our remove operation and till our get operation is working absolutely fine, and here I have printed for you guys our collection elements. So this is the current elements which is present inside our collection. Now let us perform the replace operation. So I am trying to replace an element at index value 5 with value as 5. So what is the current value? Current value is f, right? Now let us try to replace it. So after performing this operation, I have again printed the value. So at index value 5, here you can see that we got an updated value with our value as 5. So our replace operation is also working absolutely fine. Now let us try to perform the most complex operation which we have discussed 5 minutes back, that is the insert operation, right? So what we are doing here, We are trying to insert an element at index value 6 with value as 6, right? So currently if you notice we have 10 elements, and then we are trying to insert this 6 value at index 6. So the increased capacity should be, it should be 20, right? In this case. So it will create a new object array. It will copy all the elements. Then it will perform the shift operations starting with the this particular index. It will keep on shifting one elements one by one at a time. And then finally it will insert this particular 6 value at this particular index. So I have printed for you guys. So let me show you. So at index value 6, you can see that we have a new element, and now all the elements after it is shifted with one index. So initially this 11 was at ninth index and now it is at 10th index. So I hope it is clear to you guys, and here you can see that now now the increased capacity is 11, size is 11, which means that there are total 11 elements inside our collection, and 20 is what? 20 is the increased capacity. So I hope till this point it is clear to you guys. Now let us perform two more operations and let us try to insert two more elements inside our collection at 0th index and at 10th index. So at 0th index, when I have inserted and when I have tried to print the values, so here you can see that this is our first insert operation which we have performed at index value 0. We have inserted the value 0, and then at 10th index we have inserted the value 10, and then the new size is 13, right? We have inserted two more elements, and the total capacity of our collection is 20. So I hope till this point is clear to you guys. Now just we are left with search operation. So what I'm doing here, I'm trying to search an object with value as 5 inside my collection. So as per our algorithm, we are checking one by one, we are iterating and we are checking whether 5, first we'll compare this 5 with 0, no it is not equal, compare with a, no it is not equal. But yes, here we can find 5. Yes, it is there inside our collection. So yes, we will return true. That's why we are getting this value as true here. And then in our next statement, when performing the search operation, so we are trying to find the value 20. So let's see if our collection is having the value as 20. So no, I don't think so. That is why, my dear friends, we got this value as false here, right? So yes, guys, all the operations which we have created is working absolutely fine, right? So this is what we have created. This is how we have created our custom array collection, and we have performed all the operations like add, insert, update, delete, remove, search, right? I hope that you are able to understand that how all these operations are actually working in background. Now you will be able to relate any collection framework, and you will be able to think like, okay, this is how my hash set is working. This is how my add operation is happening, right guys? Still, if you are having any doubts, then you can ask me your doubts at any point of time. You can write me in queries, your queries in comment section, or you can also check my mail ID, which is already provided to you guys on my channel. So here you can find my mail ID and you can write me. This is the mail ID, and here you can write me your doubts or your queries. But the simplest way is to directly ask me your questions in comment section, guys. So my dear friends, I hope that whatever we have discussed in this particular video is clear to you. Still, if you are having any doubts, then you are most welcome to come up with your doubts and queries. and I would love to answer your queries. And if you have any suggestions for me, you want me to cover any topic, then also you are most welcome. You can write which topic you want me to cover in my upcoming videos, and surely I will create videos, or we will have a much more live streaming sessions like this. I have got an overwhelming response from you guys. So yes, we will continue with the same zeal, because even if these videos are beneficial for 1 or 2% also, then also I am happy to have this. Yes, guys. So now we are done for this particular session, and you can visit the channel, and at any point of time you can check these recordings which are already present on channel, guys. And at any point of time, if you feel that you are having any doubts, then you can ask me your doubts in comments, and I will try to help you out. I Based on your feedback, we will have be having one more session on this particular topic, and we will see if you are having any doubts. Then I would like to clear those, guys. Okay, so stay tuned and do like, comment, and subscribe my channel. And I would like to wish you all the very best for your learnings. Have a nice day, guys. Bye bye.